everybody, it is your girl here, GenuinelyDivine, coming at you today with a video all about love compatibility, because love is always on the brain. As you guys saw the title, Wind Beneath My Wings.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be. I can fly higher than an eagle, 'cause you are the wind beneath my wings.
Okay, you guys, that was a little entertainment for you guys, but those of you who are new to the channel, please remember to click that subscribe button, because I am just so devastated that I have like 100K people watching my channel every month, giving me views, but they're not clicking that subscribe button. So what's going on, you guys? Go ahead and click that subscribe button. I need that support, you guys. What's going on? Because I see you. Why? Anyway, you guys, let's move on into the video. As I said before, we are talking about Sagittarius woman in a relationship with a Gemini man. Is this a match made in heaven, or is it a match that heaven somehow rejected? When we talk about Sagittarius woman, she's a jovial type woman. Being ruled by Jupiter, a lot of times she got a lot of grand things to play with. Either big boobs, big booty, big thighs, all that greatness, all that lusciousness, right? Also, she's very adventurous. She loves to travel, and she's very philosophical. A lot of times, most Sagittarius women are very religious, or they have their own type religion. But then we talk about Gemini men. Gemini men is all about movement. He loves to be moving. He's very curious, but he's also very different. He loves to communicate. A lot of times, he's the type of guy who acts like a big ass kid. Now, you mix kid energy with adventure, what do you get? You get a situation where it's like a kid walking into an amusement park. So these two in the beginning, they have so much fun, they have so much to talk about. Gemini man is all about mental stimulation. So Sagittarius woman, she provides that with her philosophical views and talking about things and always being so adventurous, always wanting to move, because Sagittarius rules the 9th house of higher education and travel and philosophies. So with that being said, she can definitely stimulate Gemini man's mind, and he needs mental stimulation. Gemini man also provides Sagittarius woman the stimulation that she needs physically as well as mentally, because they both actually are smart type people. Mercury ruling Gemini. Mercury is all about logic and communication. Then you have Sagittarius with Jupiter ruling her, higher learning and philosophical views. So these two are definitely very smart together, or they feel like they can learn from one another. In all actuality, these two are polar opposites. Whenever polar opposites come together, they actually complete one another. They feel like, oh my God, I just met the person that I need to be with for the rest of my life. But just because you're polar opposites and you do attract one another, that doesn't mean that you guys would definitely stay together or not have any problems in your relationship. When it comes to trust for these two, they can definitely trust each other, because first of all, they speak the same language. Sagittarius woman is a fire sign. Fire does not like to be confined. And also, Gemini man is an air sign. He hates to be confined. Air cannot be confined. And if it is, they're gonna bust out, okay? So these two definitely speak the same language. They both believe in each other having their freedom, you know, having their own space. So they definitely naturally trust one another. But does that mean that this relationship doesn't have any trust issues? No, because a lot of times it does have trust issues. And the reason is because after they've been in the relationship for a long time or for a while, something starts happening in this relationship because you are dealing with fire and air. So some things are going to take place, right? Now, Sagittarius woman, she's fire, very impulsive, right? So sometimes she can step outside of the relationship and find physical stimulation from other people, causing the Gemini men to feel, you know, betrayed in a sense. But Gemini men can also do the same thing in a different type of way. Gemini is ruled by the twin, right? His symbol is the twin, right? So with that being said, he have dual situations, and he's the type of person where he can have a whole nother life, you know, somewhere else that does not include Sagittarius woman, either through cheating or by some other type of obligation where Sagittarius woman is not included. So she can feel sometimes left out in that situation. But at the same token, these two can definitely, you know, forgive each other for whatever mishaps that happens, because they definitely do understand that life does take place, and they do know how to just kind of like, you know, this is mutable energy, which they're both mutable, which means that they can definitely, you know, adapt to whatever situation or circumstance that comes their way. They're definitely willing to work on it because they feel like they are supposed to be together. Now, another thing about this couple is when it comes to the finances, a lot of times I feel like Sagittarius woman will definitely have to take the lead, but they're both so childlike. Like they both are just so irresponsible in a sense. And now evolved Sagittarius and Gemini will be a little bit more responsible, but these two can be very irresponsible because they are so focused on adventure and fun. They can sometimes forget, oh, you gotta pay the mortgage, or oops, you gotta pay insurance or something like that. But I do feel like Sagittarius woman will definitely be the one to take on, especially if they're very young. But I feel like as they get older and more evolved, Gemini man can actually step in and start playing his role like he's supposed to in a sense. But you know, it can go either way for these two. We definitely need to look at the second house for these two. But if these two do have some strong grounding or a lot of earth in their chart that actually helps them to be more responsible, this would definitely work out for the two, and they can definitely take care of their responsibilities. But if we're just talking about Sagittarius and Gemini energy alone, these two can be very irresponsible when it comes to dealing with money, which can cause a lot of friction and conflict in the relationship as the relationship progresses. So the bedroom scene for these two, oh my god. Okay, this is fire and air, you guys. So it's definitely going to be so much fun. Sagittarius woman is so adventurous. Gemini man is so curious, and it's like any and everything goes. These two definitely need to have fun. They cannot get set into a routine of doing the same old thing all the time. This is one of those compatibilities that I feel like can have somewhat an open relationship, or they can actually invite someone in to help them out sometimes because they cannot do the same thing. Both of them, Sagittarius woman, she needs adventure. Gemini man, he needs variety. They need to be able to satisfy their physical needs with one another, or they may step out, you know, or maybe some problems. A lot of times I feel like these two will be the type they do it anywhere because they don't care. I mean, just the whole idea of somebody seeing them or catching them or something, it just gets their adrenaline flowing, and that's an excitement for them. These are kids, remember? So things like that is really good for them. Anything that's really exciting and fun and just out of this world type activity, they love it. So these two can definitely fall in love with the physical between the two of them. And a lot of times those who do have more malefic aspects in their charts together, their synastry charts together, they can actually only stay together because the sex is so good. A lot of times they can go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, break up, get back together, and you know, because of the simple fact the sex is so good between the two of them. Now, When these two are operating good, they are absolutely amazing. They are the relationship that people are like, oh my God, I want to have fun like Sagittarius woman and Gemini man. I want to have fun like them. But when they're bad, it is absolutely horrifying. Anytime polar opposites get together, they're actually coming together to teach one another something. Now, I have seen polar opposites go the distance where it could be a lifelong relationship, but I've also seen polar opposites break apart after they've been together for so long, because a lot of times when you come together with your polar opposite, a lot of times they're coming to teach you something about yourself, because that's the opposite side of yourself. So you're learning about yourself to prepare yourself for your actual soulmate, if this indeed is not your soulmate, actually, okay, if that makes sense. But overall, this compatibility can actually, you know, be a really good, fun one that can definitely last, but it can also fizzle out as well, or sizzle out, fizzle out, whichever, at some point in time, because after, if they're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, then someone's gonna get tired, and then they're gonna eventually go ahead and cut ties and kind of move on. But I feel like these two will forever be friends, and they will forever remember this relationship if they do decide to go their separate ways. So the question was asked, is it a match made in heaven, or is it a match that heaven rejected? This one, you guys, is definitely a match made in heaven. Now, with that being said, you guys, that's all I have. Until the next time, I wish you so much love, peace, and so many wonderful blessings. Bye.